Hello friends, I am Rusty, your ultimate chess buddy, back with the chess lessons. So today is Capablanca's birthday. So let's start with one of his games. So in this game, José Raúl Capablanca was black and white was Harry Klein. And let's look at the moves. Someone told me that chess.com has better animations and features and also better reach. So I'm using chess.com now. Let's try to leech off some of the popularity. D4 and F6, the standard move, and F3, D6. So D5 is also one of the main lines. E6, G6, many other options are there. He played D6 thing. One of the reasons will be not allowing knight to E5. Capablanca was very simple positional player and I think very solid also. C3 and D7 and bishop F4, C6. So no fight, nothing, all just simple moves, leaving it to opponent to play its ball. Queen C2 and he's like, okay, Queen C7. And next comes pawn to E4, opening up the bishop diagonal. And E5. Now both sides gave a shot. Pawn is attacking the bishop. Two options are there. One is to capture, another is to simply save the bishop. White chose to play bishop g3, simply saving the bishop, maintaining the center. No exchange are yet done. And black played bishop e7. Very simple reason you can see. Castling and take out the rook to e8. And white has now attacking position in the center. Slight advantage, I will guess. And weakness is e4 pawn. So white also knows what to play. Bishop d3, covering up this weakness. And castling. And bd2. And rook e8. Black played. So that was the plan all along, to watch the king. It is said to be exclamation mark. And here comes white castling. So king didn't stay in a line of the rook. On the time they did castling. Now nh5. Simple plan, that is to capture the bishop on g3. H or f cross will weaken the castling. And c4. Bishop f6. And what should white play? Any idea? What should be white's next move? Okay. They maneuvered the knight. Knight bd2, knight c4, and now knight went to e3. Black also went knight f8. So opening up the bishop diagonal, also the queen. If they are changing the sides from queen side to king side. D cross e5. This is the first capture of the game. So now white's advantage will be slightly removed, right? Because bishop is needed to protect the pawn on e4, kind of. And here d5 was also another option, but we need to carefully consider what is the best. Black also captured d cross e5. And white now went bishop h4, not to give up a bishop for a knight. Generally, it is said bishops are better than knights, so they didn't want to. Black's turn, no capture because our knight will stay there only, no other idea. And our bishop is sufficiently supported. But to put a pressure on h4 bishop, black went queen e7. Now white's turn, exchange, bishop cross f6, queen cross f6. White, any idea? White went back with the knight e1, planning to open up some f pawn. And black went knight f4, attacking a bishop, or you can say putting a pressure on bishop. Now, it is said that nf4 is a mistake, slightly bad move, because the right variation should have been bishop to e6 and doubling the rooks in the d file according to the opening. But okay, fine. g3, attacking the knight, and knight h3 check. An attack starting. f2 is supported, so there is no need to worry about f2 pawn. King h1. Now is it sufficiently supported? What do you think? Is n cross f2 possible? No. Rook is also there, so if it's not possible, sufficiently supported. h5. Knight 3, g2. So this knight to had go backwards. The reason being, if n1 g2 was played, then queen f3 and space will come, right? So that was not very preferable. White went knight 3 g2. g5. Simple plan, h4, exposing the king. After white has done castling, black actually got the target to attack the king. So in that direction, black is making plans and playing the moves. f3 and g6. One more support for this. And e3, a good move. And black continued with its plan, h4. Here white played a kind of blunder move. What should black play? So let's take some seconds to think over it. So knight f5 and white will have slightly better chances here. And knight on h3 for black will be cut off out of the game. So that was possible. But white played g4. And now knight is no longer cut off. It has a space to move back, right? It's like dying person got the medicine or water to continue living on. And black, Capablanca, is very smart. And hf4, right? Never missing out on such things. Okay. After nhf4, rf2, and black to play. So here, actually, this is a thinking position what black should move. So there is something called as superfluous move. What is that? According to that, not superfluous move, but superfluous piece. I'm sorry. So here, black played knight cross d3. Superfluous piece means there were two knights here, which led to one of the knights being useless. Not useless, but it didn't have a square. Our own knight was covering it. So two knights were not needed. So it is very important for one person to make a decision when to capture and when not to. So here black made the correct decision to take the bishop because its second knight will also be able to come into the game. Plus we got a bishop for the knight, and bishops are generally better than knights. So another advantage we could have received, right? And this at Capablanca's level, Capablanca knew this. And superfluous piece, this term was coined by, I think, Mark Dworsky. And even before that, Capablanca knew about it. So he is very logical player, knew which piece to play, when to play, and what are the uses. So, and cross d3. And cross d3 and bishop e6. Rook comes to d1, simple open file, developing a piece. Black also does the same, getting the open file, red8, and b3. So b3, after that, knight f4, bringing the knight into the game by black. White chose to put here pressure, and g2. Maybe after exchange, queen f4 is blocked. Black exchanged. And the rooks also got exchanged. And now rook d8. Of course, we should take the open file. That too we are getting with a tempo attacking the queen. Queen back to e2. And now white's turn. No, black's turn. So black played h3, attacking the knight on g2. Simple plans. Anytime queen can also get the entry. Another option is black can start playing on queen side after blocking this side. So knight e3. This is always available, but black chose to start attacking queen side now. a5. White's move was rook f1. Again, another position where we should think up of black move. What should black play in this position? A very good move, a4. So right punch at the right time. This is a free pawn looks like, because this is all supported, nothing black is getting. But after this, there is rook 8 possibility to get back both the pawns and also getting the entry inside, right? So whenever you give a punch, punches are made not for getting material, but rather for provoking the opponent and to get some advantages out of it. So when you provoke your opponent, you get something. And yes, black got it. c4. If you focus on the last wicket square, last move which they left, it is a d4 square. The center we got. So black immediately took it. Rook d4, rook in the center. They had to remove it, so they used the knight. Knight c2, attacking the rook on d4. Simply saved it, rook d7. This is another one of the popular ideas where instead of this, my father used to say Sidi top and Undi top. So queen at the front is Sidi and other way around is queen behind. A very simple idea. And e3. And yes, the plan is followed, doubling Alekhine gun and rook d1. For exchange, black exchanged. And now queen in the center, d4. So this, after removing the pawn on c3, this became a square for black to exploit. And black is doing a very good job. And f2. So Capablanca is named for his end games, but there is also a talk on it that he was not very good at end game, but he was actually very good at middle game. And he used to get such advantages in middle game to end game that people were not able to figure out, but Capablanca knew how to play on those advantages and win the game. And yes, b5 captured. So again, you have to calculate that after this bishop is also supporting. What if they capture? Can you go ahead and make a queen? So white had to capture, no possibility, and bishop cross b3. Knight captured the h3 pawn. As you can see, this could have been a threat, and because queen d1 was no longer there, knight protecting because of bishop on b3 and bishop d1. Just look at the last move of opponent. They played n cross h3. Knight left the square of d1 and he's exploiting. Last move, queen f1. Always focus on opponent's last move. Very good advice. Pawn takes and king g2. So bishop cross f3 was there. If queen cross b5. And we have outside pass pawn. Queen b5. Now f3 is supported by the king. The reason it was played. b3. Continue. Queen check. And now it's over. If you know, you know. This pawn will be unstoppable. Queen. King g7. Queen e7. Planning to capture g5. Maybe with the queen. Maybe taking help of a knight. Doing some perpetual. That's what white is planning. Black continued b2 without any worries. Knight cross g5. Queen cross f7 is the target. And bishop simply defended it. So from behind also now queen cannot pawn from becoming a queen. Bishop is also blocking the b file. And cross f7. Free piece. Should we capture or should we not? Capture. Queen check. King f8. Queen check. King e7. One more check. King e8. And now you can see no check position as queen g8, then bishop will capture. Queen cross e5, queen will capture. Queen e7, queen e8 are of course not working. So finally, white chose to resign here and black, our Capablanca won. Right? Happy birthday to Capablanca. That's it for the day. Bye everyone.